allegations of how the prosecutor was conducting herself and in that office. The D.C. case, the federal case related to election interference, as you point out, essentially gutted by a Supreme Court immunity ruling that in this particular case might not have applied. Remember, the conduct alleged here, essentially the hoarding of classified information, some of the country's most sensitive nuclear secrets, was all conduct charged after he was citizen Trump, ex-President Trump. Did not, in the argument of the special counsel at least, have anything to do with his conduct as president, but rather his conduct as Donald Trump, the citizen whom he became once again after being president. So theoretically would not have been subject to that immunity ruling. Here, something of a novel legal theory, one that even I think some of Donald Trump's political advisors thought was less likely to be the thing that threw him a lifeline here, doing exactly that at timing that could not be more fortuitous for the former president as he opens his convention, as his opponent, President Biden, has been weakened and hobbled by the Democratic response to his handling of that first debate with his own campaign ads off the air. Democrats essentially sitting back in this moment after the former president was the target of that attempted assassination over the weekend. And now just this incredible legal and political break for a former president just as he's about to seize the national spotlight for his 4-day convention.
Yeah, Garrett, the timing just here could not be more fortuitous. I want you to stand by for a minute while I get over to NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas. Danny, you've been working your way through the decision. It's from Judge Cannon, who was appointed by the former president. It is lengthy. This was a motion that had been filed by his legal team, and it was not one, frankly, that they expected to win. Anybody else who had looked at this had said the special counsel, Jack Smith, was rightly appointed. There was no constitutional issue, but she agreed. Is this reasoning going to stand up, Danny?
It might, but your question really implies what we all know is that it does not end here at the district court level. This will go up because this is not just a ruling on this specific case. This is a ruling on the constitutionality of the appointment of Jack Smith. So you better believe that Trump's team is loading this into their arsenal for any other case. Of course, the documents case and the January 6th case, they're going to use it. And the argument is surprising in the sense that we've all been talking about immunity for the last couple weeks, the Supreme Court's decision there. This is not based really on immunity. It's based on the appointments clause of the Constitution and also the appropriations clause, which the court didn't even reach, but implied that that would be a grounds for tossing the case as well. And the bottom line is this: the appointments clause requires in the Constitution that someone like Jack Smith, according to the court, be appointed by the DOJ or by the executive branch, but it must be confirmed by the Senate. And so the argument there is that this violates that portion of the Constitution because Jack Smith was not appointed through this procedure. And the judge essentially says, Congress, there's a way to do this. And you could appoint Jack Smith the way all U.S. attorneys are appointed.
And Danny, the special counsel, if he wants to, could try to appeal this ruling now to the 11th Circuit, the federal appeals court. But given how things are going, given the timing issues, this, of course, has no hope of any resolution before the election.
It had little hope of getting to trial before the election. Now it has zero chance because the whoever appeals, obviously the Jack Smith's team will appeal. And yes, it will go up to the circuit court. And I expect this is going to go pretty quickly to the Supreme Court. But however quickly it goes to the Supreme Court will not be quickly enough for the election. Now, I say that, and as you know, Laura, federal courts have a lot of power. Circuit courts can put things on speed, on high speed, in a way that they can't in other cases. So it's theoretically possible this could be decided in a matter of weeks, but it will not be in all likelihood. If Donald Trump is elected, this federal case is likely over, and maybe the other federal case against Donald Trump in D.C. as a result, at least tangentially, of this decision. Even though this decision has no precedential value or no controlling value over Judge Chutkan in D.C. District Court, it certainly gives the Trump team a blueprint going forward.
Yeah, I can't underscore enough what a win this is for him. And I was just in touch with his legal team who was briefing him just as we were coming on the air about this enormous win for them. Can't underscore enough that this has essentially gutted the case. They did not expect to necessarily win on this issue. But I want to go back over to Garrett now with more on sort of how the political and legal landscape have intertwined here, Garrett, as you wonder, given sort of where we are with everything that happened with the attempted assassination over the weekend, I wonder if we might not hear from even the Justice Department about this, given everything of the context of what's going on here.
Well, Laura, the Justice Department, as you know, likes to speak in indictments and in paper and not necessarily on camera, on the record, particularly in situations like this. So I suspect we're more likely to see a filing than a television statement. But the former president goes the other way. I think if he's got something to say about this, we will see it and hear it from him, perhaps on camera as early as today. I've covered politics for a long time, and I have never seen such an incredible sort of month-long lucky streak by a politician, whether it starts with the immunity ruling by the Supreme Court, surviving an assassination attempt, to now having another case thrown out on the moment his convention is expected to open. An extraordinary moment in our politics, Laura.
Yes, Garrett. All right. You're going to have your hands full this week, my friend. Thank you. That concludes this NBC News special report. We will have much more ahead on our streaming network, NBC News Now, online at NBCnews.com, and a full wrap-up tonight on NBC Nightly News. We will return some of you now over to The Today Show. I'm Laura Jarrett. This has been an NBC News Special Report.